Hello, welcome back to the garden. Today is Monday the 6th of February. It is absolutely freezing out today. When I finished work at midnight last night, it said -1, but it took me ages to de-ice the car. And then this morning, it's saying 1 degrees in the sun. So hopefully it's going to warm up, but the sun is out, which is so beautiful. So I don't mind it being too cold. I've got a really busy week planned, and seeing as it's Monday, I want to just get out and get as many chores as I can do done today. Not sure where the day's going to take me. It's going to be a day of like really bitty chores. I've got the compost bin here that I need to move. Last week I got that emptied and used some of that as a mulch in the bed in the greenhouse, but it started raining. I didn't manage to get the other one moved, and I've still got a little bit of compost that I'm stood on now. So seeing as this compost bin is full up now, I really do need to get those moved and put in their kind of the right place that I want them to go, which I still haven't kind of worked out, but it's going to be kind of somewhere over here. I've got some a gutter on my kitchen that is full of leaves that I should have done in the autumn. That needs to get cleaned out today. I can then add that on here. And then, yeah, there's loads of other things that I can be doing. I definitely have a tip run to do. But before I do that, I've got a couple of bits and pieces that we need to go and put in the greenhouse. So let's go down there. And it'd be interesting, actually. It should be in the sun. So we'll see how warm it is in there. Let's go. I've got a new camera as well, and luckily I've got a new camera because when I was filming about a week ago, I actually dropped my other camera and have broken the lens, and I've still been able to use it, but I do need to send it off for repair. So today I'm going to be filming on my new camera, and hopefully it's going to go okay, and then I can send that one off. By the way, in videos you may have seen this really messy area behind me. There is a reason for that and why there are so many kind of buckets around, and I'll show you that in the future. Oh, well, it's a little bit warmer in here, and it is currently 5 degrees centigrade, and we have got down to as low as -2. So yeah, it is quite cold. Just had some bits and pieces in the house that I needed to bring in. I've got a little idea for some toilet roll planting, which I've been saving the toilet rolls for absolutely ages, so they need to come in. Also, people keep asking me on my video, a couple of videos ago when I planted my pea seeds, somebody was asking, was I chitting my potatoes in the greenhouse? A couple of people asked me that, and somebody messaged me really concerned that I was doing it. And the answer is yes, they're still in here just because I've left them in here. It is cold, obviously it says -2 in there, but they've been absolutely fine, and I chit them every year in here. So maybe I shouldn't, but they seem to be doing okay, and otherwise I just end up with stuff all around the house, and I've already got those peas inside the kitchen, so, and I've also got the echinaceas as well in the workshop, so I just don't want to end up with millions of stuff all around the house because it just makes a mess. And then I end up with gardening stuff in here, the polytunnel, the house, and then yeah, it just gets out of control. Right, let's go and get these gutters cleaned out. Can you hear that? I absolutely love living here and being able to come out in the garden and hear those beautiful birds always singing. It's absolutely beautiful. Another reason why I've got this new camera was so that I could actually kind of bring you around and give you like a much more kind of candid view when I'm gardening. So hopefully I'm in all of the shots and it's not too kind of jumpy and bumpy. All of these leaves are absolutely frozen solid. So this is my kitchen, by the way. It's actually a separate house, or it's like a cottage that back in the 80s somebody got planning permission for and then connected it to the house. So part of our renovations is that we need to get a new roof on here and slightly change the roof on the other side. So that's something I need to speak to the planning department about at some stage. over the next couple of weeks or so. So it's never ending when you buy an old property like this. So just above me here, I'm not sure what tree this is, whether it's, I think it's a willow, and I've got a willow here that's probably in your eye line there. They both need to be chopped down, and then I usually just let them regrow and then they look like this, but these will both be chopped down probably on Thursday. Me and my friend Kath coppiced one of our hazel trees last week it was. So this week, Thursday now, hopefully we can get these two down and get them chipped so that I can use the wood chip in the garden, and then also I can use the trunks and things to put and save for next year's firewood. And we got all of that filmed actually when we were doing that, so there will be a video probably next week when we've completed it all for you to have a look at. I think I might have to come and do this again. You can probably see, because I can't quite see up here, if I've actually managed to do a good job of cleaning out these gutters, because I can't actually see up there. Right, this side is completely frozen solid, so I think I'm going to have to come back in another hour or so and hopefully I'll be able to get the remainder out. So looking at the guttering now, I can see I left quite a lot behind. So you were probably shouting at the screen telling me to go back, but it's frozen solid. So what we're going to need to do is just leave that for a couple of hours now just to warm up. The sun is coming round, so you can see it's not going to take long until it reaches there. Anyway, let's go on now to the compost heaps and get them sorted, because that is a job I really need to get done today. So with the remainder of this compost, what I'm going to do is fill one of these 30-litre buckets up, because I want to use it as a mulch in a minute. And then I've got some old compost bags. I'm going to try and fill maybe a third full and then store that in the polytunnel until I need it. I am pretty pleased with that little harvest, because I took around about 100 litres of compost last week from this area. I've got maybe another 20, 40, 60 and maybe 15 litres in here. So this is definitely my best harvest of the year so far, my first harvest. And we haven't even looked in that compost bin there. I said before, I don't think it's going to be as good as this one, but I am so pleased with that. So I'm going to quickly put this in the polytunnel now, and then we'll get onto that other compost heap. So I just leave the compost in here until I need it. It'll be out of the way, and then I know it's not going to be getting rained on. I haven't obviously done an update in the polytunnel for ages, because I've got nothing growing in here at all. So let me know what your polytunnels look like. I really did want to do overwinter salads in here, but it didn't happen. So here's the next compost heap. I'm not sure when I started this one off, but it is definitely a lot wetter in there, and you can see that I've been putting stuff in there quite recently, so it's not going to be 100% composted, but let's see what it looks like at the bottom. So my prediction is that this is going to be pretty wet and yucky, and I'm not going to be able to use this this season, so I might just have to add this straight to another compost bin. What do you think? Before I take it off, do you think it's composted and lovely black gold, or it's still pretty sludgy and yucky? Let's have a look. Wow, look at that. I'm pretty pleased with that. It's really wet in comparison to the other stuff. And look, there's plastic in it. I don't know how this happens. That must be off a bit of cardboard, actually. That is why it's so important to make sure you take your plastic or your sellotape off your cardboard. And look, there's a potato in it. It doesn't look very nice, but yeah, little potato there. Right, let's take it off and see how much we've got that looks like this. Well, that is not too bad. I've got a lot more twigs in this one, but that is just because I was quite lazy when it came to putting stuff in there, but there's still a lot of usable compost there. Because this compost heap hasn't composted down as much as this one, I think I'm going to move this garlic to its resting place for the next year, so I can just get that filled straight away, and then maybe underneath there'll be a little bit that we can salvage. So this is a previous site of a compost heap, and I think underneath there is rat runs and stuff like that, so the soil is pretty nice here, but I'm just going to quickly level it out a tiny bit so the garlic can lay as flat as possible, because sometimes I have had, if they get really full and they are on a bit of a slope, they tip over. So I've just put in around about 3 bags of all of that uncomposted stuff, which does take this garlic up to about halfway, but it won't take very long to squash back down, and there's still loads more room for lots of organic matter over the next growing season. So now I'm left with this lovely pile of soggy and very twiggy compost. So I'm not going to worry too much about bagging this up, using it in pots and stuff like that, because it's still got a lot of composting down to do. But what I am going to do is actually fill up my raised bed outside the polytunnel. That is a raised bed that I've managed to completely fill without buying compost. It was my original hugelkultur bed. I've done a few videos on it actually, so I will put the latest video above in the cards now, but a couple more down below. So I'm going to give this a really amazing, you know, a good few bucketfuls of mulch on top of there. And then also I have a bed that I've created down the side of my polytunnel. It looks an absolute mess at the moment, because when we kept getting the pigs coming in, they love that area and they've managed to kind of chuck everything everywhere, but that is also very twiggy. So I think I'm going to put that there now. Then that means that soil and compost can be used this year, and then both of my composters are moved. So that's 3 potato buckets half filled. So I'm estimating around about 15 litres in each. And then one of my green bags, which has probably got the same amount in. So pretty happy with that. That's 60 litres. So let's go to the raised bed now. Probably put 2 of these in, and then we can start spreading the rest of it down the side for my new potato bed. Then we'll come back and hopefully we'll get a few more bucketful from this area. Oh. So this bed currently has a top dressing of seaweed on it. This got put on about 3 weeks ago now. So when I put this compost just dumped on the top, that will really help start breaking down that lovely seaweed underneath. And then I know that I am going to have some amazing crops from this raised bed. And the best thing is, all those crops are going to be for absolutely nothing, because I haven't spent any money on the compost. I know it's going to be organic, no pesticides in it, so very happy with that. It's quite a mound at the moment, but again, you know, give it a month or 2 and it will probably flatten out pretty quickly. So moving on from the raised bed now, let's have a look at my new bed. As you can see, it's an absolute mess, and you probably can't see the definition of it very well actually, but I will be putting some wood along here so it holds back the soil. But at the moment we've got 6 meters of lots of twigs and stuff. This was stuff that I put down. I cut hedges last year, put it straight down with grass clippings and things like that, and it is very twiggy. Then obviously the pigs came in and kind of rooted all through it, so it is an absolute mess. But we're just going to be putting some of this compost all the way along, so it will just help you know, break down all of this, and then when I put the potatoes in, we should have a pretty good harvest. So I've got another 3 potato buckets and the green bag, but there's hardly anything in these compared to what I've just put in the raised bed, but I'm still really happy with this. And as I start mowing the lawns and stuff, this will be able to get a good weekly covering. Oh, a weekly covering of grass clippings. And potatoes are going to absolutely love it in here. I've had so much success with growing potatoes in my woodland garden. They really tolerate the shade. And this is going to look really good when I've got it kind of split off there with a nice piece of wood. Hopefully I'll be putting some fruit bushes just behind me here. But as with everything in this garden, it's going to take me a lifetime to complete. So make sure you subscribe if you don't already, so you can follow me along for the next 30 years. So I'm going to bring this darlic into this position here. It's definitely taken me a lot longer to get all of this done than I thought it was going to do, but I'm so pleased that I'm slowly just making progress every time I get out here to tidy the garden and just make it so much better. I'm pretty pleased with that. It's level, so better go and find the bottom bit and the lids, and then they're done. So next time we'll be taking these off, we'll be revealing how much compost I've made, and the date is the 6th of February today, so we can actually see how long it takes us to fill one of these up and what the compost looks like when it's done. Hopefully though, maybe 4 or 5 months, we can have a little check. Or maybe, if I'm really organised, I can film it once a month and we can have a look in here. And then at the end of the year, when we're feeling all sad because it's midwinter, we can see what it looked like. Oh, hang on a minute, that is really sad, isn't it? Quite sad. If you like the idea though, let me know down below in the comments. I'm pretty pleased with the progress that I've made this morning. My compost area on the left. If you're wondering though what kind of this messy area here is, that's a wormery that I'm not using anymore behind. In front of it is some worm castings in that bin, and then I have a wormery here too. So I will be doing a video on this, getting this all organised and sorting out my wormeries maybe, I don't know, in a couple of weeks or something like that. But I'm so pleased with how much clearer it's looking. I did mention earlier in the video that we coppiced a tree, so we've got loads of stuff here that we need to sort out on Thursday, and some lovely logs down here too. But before I go in for a cup of tea, I need to just sort this little 30 litres of compost out here to mulch a bed down in the front garden. Before I go in for a lovely cup of tea though, I've forgotten that I haven't finished this job off. So again, you're probably going to see that I'm going to miss a load, but hopefully this is all thawed out now. I really hope you've enjoyed watching today's video. It's been so fun just getting those compost heaps moved and getting those beds mulched. I'm so pleased that that bed down the side of the polytunnel has had another dressing on as well, because today when I came out I didn't even think about that. So I love how when you come out gardening every day you always kind of deviate, or I do anyway, deviate from my plan, and it kind of evolves as I go along. Oh, I know what I've been meaning to mention for a little while. A few of you commented on a video I did a couple of weeks ago now about the house, and that they were interested to see a kind of a different aspect of what I get up to here. And if you don't know, I actually have another YouTube channel where I did do some videos about our house renovations on, and then we've had COVID since then, and I've not managed to pick it up as much as I should have done, but things with our renovation are really starting to kick off now. So I'm halfway through filming an update video about the progress and what we've done since I updated everybody before. So if you're not subscribe to that channel, please head over now and subscribe, because there will be a video out in the next couple of weeks explaining everything. And as I mentioned here, we need some planning permission. We have a roofer that is going to transform this roof for us, and then that will really kick off the renovations inside the kitchen. And I'd love to show you kind of inside and what I get up to in there. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, that is enough of me talking. I really hope you've enjoyed watching today's video. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, please do hit that subscribe button, ring the bell to be notified of all of my latest videos. As ever, YouTube has some videos up now on the screen that they think you'll like, so please go ahead and watch those, and I'll catch up with you in the next video.